So the good thing with turret mooring systems, they have actually a very good track record over the last almost 30 years now. And they've been used in a number of environmental conditions, from quite mild to very harsh, very shallow water, 20 meters, all the way up to 3,000 meters. So they're very robust, they're very adaptable to a number of different conditions, and they've been installed in almost every oil-producing region of the world offshore. So there's a lot of track record, and with track record and experience comes good knowledge, and that knowledge helps you design these systems a lot better than what you would if you were starting from the beginning. So the main challenges actually with mooring systems has been what we call the anchor leg system. It's the system that connects the FPSO to the seabed, the chains and the mooring components. They have not had, because of the longevity of these systems, and many times they're installed in environments where there isn't a lot of history on how these components perform in the long term. There have been challenges, especially in West Africa, with corrosion and fatigue, accelerated fatigue of the components that lead to failure. Because mooring systems are safety critical and a very important part of maintaining station, the failure of a component can many times lead to a stoppage in production, or production under certain restrictions, offloading under certain restrictions, and can be very expensive to repair and replace. So that's been a big focus of mine personally. I run an international mooring integrity user group where we share experiences and knowledge, solutions, failures among the industry community. So we all have better knowledge of what we're getting into, design better systems. So that's one aspect that's quite close to me. There really isn't a lot of operational issues with turrets other than maybe some of the fluid transfer systems. You can have leakages and swivels, but good designs of turret mooring systems give you the ability to repair and replace the seals without reducing production. So a lot of it is actually just knowledge. So a lot of design, when I think of design and use the word design, it's in many cases people starting from a blank sheet of paper, using company specifications, looking at class rules and regulations, and designing something in the most, let's say, cost-effective, all with the lowest capex, in order to be successful in providing a product to your client. What we found, and even our parent company Modec, as they've switched from being an EPC contractor to an operator, that we now have to design our assets to be managed for the entire life cycle. So when you look at design as an engineer coming into the industry, you're designing a product, you build it, you sell it, and then hopefully the codes and the rules that you've used allow it to work the way it was designed to work. But with an experience base as an operator, knowing that these challenges can cost you more money when they happen during operations, we are finding that when we look at the life cycle cost, that if we include more robustness in our design, that makes it much more effective in the long run, much more cost effective. So when we design turret moorings today, we don't look only at the capex cost, but we look at the cost over the life cycle. We have a number of features that we've added to our system. We have more robustness in the mooring system to allow for corrosion. We have more frequent inspections and focus on repair. We have emergency response plans. We have designed the ability to change out the mooring a lot quicker than what would be done in other systems, and maybe in a more expensive way from a capex perspective, but it gives you a lot of flexibility for adjustment and replacement of the mooring in the future. So a number of features like that. We put a lot of robustness in the bearing system. We have a very robust lubrication system. These are well beyond the specifications that we typically receive from a client, but we do it because we know that this all adds to the performance of the system over time.
Great.
So if you look at a big theme of this Congress has been digitalization. And it's a buzzword, but Modec, our parent company, has been very active in implementing digitalization to the production systems, having transformed, and it's actually transformed how they operate the facilities. So we are part of the same movement within SOFEC we are applying a number of monitoring and condition monitoring, and we're tying into the same knowledge and the tools that MODEC has to provide the same feedback on the performance of the turret. So I think that's one big area, other than the typical structural mechanical design that goes into turrets, that we will see these features being designed into our systems in order to provide us this information.